Hello, welcome back to Spiritual Maintenance. I am your spiritual advocate, Mystic Mary. Um, so I had kind of like a calling. I'm heading on my way to go sing with a friend, but I just had this urge, not even really an urge. It was like a calling out um, from somebody, and usually when I hear that, I can tune into a specific family member, friend, etc. Or there's times that a tragedy happened nearby, car wrecks, things like that, and it like I feel that energetically, and so then I send energy and whatnot, healing in that direction. But this is the first time I felt it, and I tuned in and I heard subscriber. And I was like, well, is there one specific subscriber? Like, what is this? And it was like almost like the collective is kind of how other intuitives refer to it. Um, but I think that's how spirit wanted me to know specifically it was for this group. Um, because usually if I hear collective, I think, my hometown community, that kind of thing. And so subscribers. So here I am. Um, so I came down um, just to kind of sit and figure out what is this calling for, and I found three cards in my chair because I had done a reading on someone recently, and I guess these fell out. So um, I looked at them, and the first one is Uranus, light of illumination, the Fool, shaky rebirth. The next one is Venus, light of beauty, the Empress, growing in love and abundance. And then the last one is Lotus, Master Buddha, in enlightenment. And then I pulled out the deck that these came from, and at the bottom we have Taurus, I have, and that is with the Hierophant, and stay true to your values. Then we have the Masters, 33, sacred support. And the reason I'm pulling several of these is because when I put the deck down, it shifted and it stopped at the sixth house. So I'm showing you which ones shifted before the sixth house. So then the next one was the eighth house, transformation, death and judgment, death and rebirth. And then we have the sixth house, and that is work, health, and that is the hermit and the magician, everyday life. And what I'm getting is that this has to do with the message that I just put out on Saturday, yesterday, where it was talking about becoming independent, and then you will attract your soul family. And the vibration that I'm getting, I call it vibration because that's how I interpret communication telepathically. It's literally like a vibration. What I'm getting is there's some fear around that of like, well, I'm in a situation. How do I get out of it if it needs to end? And I'm here to tell you by going within, you don't have to stress yourself about, do I need to make sure this is in place and this, like, definitely, make sure you have a savings and those kind of things. Um, just the usual things. But most importantly, it's about being in your state of true independence as you are and feeling that and knowing that this is your true self and living that out. So definitely seek out resources, videos, all that kind of stuff on emotional regulation. My main go to for emotional regulation is deep breathing because that brings those lungs down out of the rib cage, sending that message to the amygdala that you're safe and it turns your prefrontal cortex on. So instead of having that focus, like hyper focus of like, okay, how am I going to keep myself safe? It opens it back up. So then you are aware of the infinite possibilities around you, and you're able to pick up on signs and synchronicities, and in tune into your body, because spirit knows what you're meant for, where you're going. And when you're aligned with spirit, you can literally feel your body tip forward and back depending on moves and whatnot that you're meant to make. So that's what I understood with this one. It's a shaky rebirth. It's getting to know yourself, how your body works, how you feel in your body, tuning into it more often instead of, when people around you are acting a certain way and you're like, I have to do this and this and this to keep safe. Like, no, you don't have to do anything. Just take a deep breath, let them do them, because it is in that moment of them being allowed to express themselves, no matter how toxic, they finally get to see what they're doing. And you just sit there calmly, taking those deep breaths of like, I'm just gonna let this happen. And then obviously if it gets to something, violent or something like that, then that's when you go to the authorities. That's when you seek out help, because then you have actual reason to evacuate at that point. But I'm mainly talking about the power and control dynamics that are mainly emotional and mental manipulatively. So just let them do them, because it is in your reaction that they're being fed your energy. So if you ground it, it stays with you. And then that's when you grow in love and abundance, because now your energy is staying with you. It's with you. It's not being leaked. It's not being drained. You're just observing the reality in front of you, which stems from deep-seated fear, due to upbringing, due to society, whatever was projected on you. Your reality is because of that, these beliefs. Because of how people are acting, you're responding in a certain way. And if you're in one of those relationships where, you've made excuses because you saw how good they really could be, and so then you kept making excuses, well, then you're stuck kind of in a situation where every time something that most people would be like, absolutely not, I'm out, you're stuck in that because you've trained your body to be okay in that environment. And so now you're no longer viewing it as toxic. You're viewing it as like, oh, it's just another episode. You're not bad. They're not bad. It's just, this is what has happened due to repeated cycles of it. And it's just cycling around. And that's where enlightenment comes. That aha moment of like, ooh, I have been putting up with that. I'm not going to put up with that anymore. And you start putting up those boundaries. And of course, they fight back and whatnot. Okay, so the Fool is that taking that risk, and that is a risk, standing up for yourself. The Empress, you're creating your new reality. So, bottom of the deck, Taurus, has a commitment with self. With your commitment to yourself, you are creating love and abundance in your life that will come to you and start reflecting back. You just have to stay committed to yourself. Don't abandon yourself. That enlightenment, observing what is going on. Why are they acting this way? Why do they feel that it's okay to act this way? Did I indirectly give them permission? And I say that because this one right here did that in the past, but no more. So stay true to your values, stay committed to you and what you, if you feel yourself talking down your values, talking down your worth for the sake of letting this other person or people or groups or whatever it is in your life stay inflated, that's when you're no longer committed to yourself. So keep that up. You are you have sacred support behind you right now. The collective as a whole is divinely guided right now to get us all out of this cycle and into the death and rebirth. And as you see over here, judgment has been called, and you're reaping the rewards of, I heard your heart being poured out. It's coming back. So just stay true to yourself. And then you will, so the hermit and the magician, that's you just going within yourself. And that's when the magic happens. Because as you work within, you're going to see a change without. Underneath the sixth house, I did not pick up the sixth house until now, but it's the violet flame, and she puts transmute that damn energy. I love it so much. So this deck is from Angel Skog. It's called the Astro Ascension deck, and her channel is Nordic Light Tarot, and I highly recommend you go check her out. She's but yeah, that energy, my ear is ringing so bad right now. Okay, so that energy that is being pushed on you, projected at you, we're not sending it back. We're just not dealing with it. We're grounding it, putting up that vortex. It's getting grounded, and we are cleansing it in that vortex, and we are taking that energy and we are using it to build our future. Okay. I purge. Okay. This is how we're going to do it. There's many resources on the Tree of Life. As you can see, this one is spelled with a Q. There's many that are spelled with K. They've got H's in them, whatever. Do your own research and find which Tree of Life resonates most with your belief system, because there's many different ones. But essentially what it is it's the temples within us, and each one has an archetype that we embody, because we're spirits. We're just in these vessels for this lifetime, but we have infinite possibilities of where to go. And so this is tuning into our soul archetype and really learning the lessons for each one. And as we work on what needs to be healed within, it's going to reflect without. As above, so below. As within, so without. The emerald tablets talk about that, and how the dweller within us is that guiding point forward, the dweller being the Holy Spirit if you're Christian. And then Chi, another one. Again, have it fit your belief system, because you are here for a reason in the life that you are living. You're here for a purpose. So do this work in how aligned you are. So I could say do this, this, and this, but if it just doesn't, as they say, resonate with you, don't do it. Listen to your inner voice. And that goes for any tarot reader, any intuitive. If what they're saying does not feel right, listen to your inner voice. Okay. So if this isn't feeling right now, you can by all means click away and find something that does, so that you can follow your life path. Okay. So you activate each temple, and then once you activate each temple, then there are the other archetypes, which is it's the major arcana in tarot, and that is those pathway between each temple. And then you learn those other archetypes, which each of those, the major arcana, are actually derived from the Hebrew letters. As the book says, the letters of light. And this is by Rabbi Aaron Raskin, if you wanted to use this as a reference. But I use this as a reference. Again, do your own research, find which ones describe and present it in a way that resonates for you. I'm showing you this because as I was going through this, Spirit said the way that this is the way out. Work through this, and you're going to start seeing it match in your reality. Because as you heal within, it's going to heal without. Energies that are not meant to be there will be removed. And however that looks, let go of control of what that's going to look like. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I hope that, you know, this and this happens, and then they decide to do this because you know the history or the backstory of certain people. Let go of that. It could go in a completely different way that even benefits you better. So just know that energies that are not meant to be in your life will be removed. All you have to do is make sure that you are right with the man upstairs. That's what I heard. I don't I believe Spirit is in here, not us. But again, that's my belief. And that's, if that's not yours, you go with yours. Okay, so learn how to do that. If something still doesn't really feel like you're having a hard time with the meditating in each temple, activating those kind of things, I'm going to start a new series. I'll continue doing the energetic release of the different ailments, but I'm going to start doing the Tree of Life. I'll start with the temples, starting with Malkuth, which is the kingdom. And then once we do that, I may take a small break. I'm talking like skip a week type of break. And then we'll do the path working. And while we do the path working, I will also go over each Hebrew letter with it. And then there's other amazing people that talk about Major Arcana. Witch and Scythe is an amazing one. Her members thing has amazing resources with the Major Arcana. So I'm not even going to touch it when I know that something that beautiful is out there. But I will do the Hebrew letter. So an example of what we'll be working through is, so Malkuth, the weaknesses that hinder this temple is laziness, greed, avarice, overreacting, aggressive, and recklessness. And then the strengths that help to manifest your potential is discrimination, prosperity, common sense, physical energy, and discernment. So what it does when you work with a temple is it creates circumstances in your life wherein you use your strengths. You're going to notice those weaknesses coming up, and it's up to you to use your self-control to harness those, ground them, release them, heal them in whatever way works for you, but then use those strengths to push you the rest of the way through whatever circumstances are presented to you. So this isn't, pathworking is not like an energetic release where you just like lay, you do your meditation and it's good. No, pathworking is, it literally brings things to you that shake up your world, that cause you to face your weaknesses within that temple, whether it's all of those weaknesses, 1, 2, whatever, and it forces you to recognize which is your greatest strength in that temple and to utilize it. So this is why it is really good to be informed before you start doing path work, because you could do a temple just for, just to be like, oh, I want to heal this part of me. And then you're like, why is my life in chaos right now? This is why, because you set it into motion. But that is how you level up quickly. And apparently Spirit thinks that you're ready. You have the strength and the ability to do this. And I am more than happy to help you through it. I'm waiting a moment to see if there's anything else to share with you. I think that's it. Okay. Well, that was a very beautiful, empowering message for sure. So I hope that reached the subscriber it's meant to reach. And I don't know that that means that you're actually a subscriber, whoever was calling out. I think that was Spirit's way of letting me know it was in this environment I needed to share something. So don't feel that you need to. That is never a requirement. But yeah, I'm gonna go sing my heart out, open up that throat chakra, and I will see you later. Bye.